Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Happy Saturday. It's your boy Benjamin Gibson, aka the Sarge, coming to you with another quick video to put a stone in your shoe, as I like to say, something just for you to ponder and think about. Okay. As I've said in other videos, and I'll say it all the time, when it comes to insurance, a lot of people do not like to talk about that. Okay. Specifically when it comes to life insurance, they do not want to talk about it. They think it's very morbid, but you absolutely have to ensure that you and your family are protected and prepared for when the inevitable happens. Okay. The death rate is absolutely 100%. Okay. Um, so the first thing I want to say is when I talk to people, people say that they have insurance on their job, and that's great. That is really good. What I always caution them is to understand that when you leave that job, you leave that coverage, you leave that insurance. Okay. So while you have it at your job, that is absolutely great. But one, you need to understand that it's going to go away when you leave that job, when you quit that job. The other thing is you absolutely have to be cognizant and aware of what does it pay out? What are the parameters of it? Okay, what are the specifics of it? Don't just sign and say, I got it and leave it alone, because you may be significantly undercovered. Okay. The other thing I want to talk about briefly is the difference between permanent and term insurance. Okay. Permanent and temporary. Okay. Temporary is exactly what it is. Okay. Think of it as like a lease. Okay. And that's the best way to say it. You will be covered for a certain amount of time. Okay. Just like you're renting a house or you have a lease on a car, something like that. It's only good for a certain amount of time. Okay. People are living longer nowadays. Okay. So while it's always good to have, you can have a term policy as it gives you extra coverage, you need to understand that it's going to run out one day. Okay. And so if you're 30 years old and you get a 30 term policy, okay, it's only going to cover you until you're 60. Well, guess what? Now you're at 60 years old and you don't have that insurance. It's going to be a whole lot harder for you to get covered for insurance, okay, at 60 years old. One, you're older. Two, what kind of health ailments have you encountered or do you have now that you're older? Okay. A lot of people are outliving their coverage. And that is something that is truly, saddening when you have people who think they're covered, but then, they get to 65, 70 years old, they're still living, but their insurance has ran out. Okay. The other thing I want to talk about is you may see commercials, you may see on YouTube or on TV about people get policies for $250, $150, $500,000 even, and it costs $9.99, $19.99, $29.99 a month. First of all, understand that those are term policies. The other thing is you don't necessarily know what those things will actually cover. What will they pay out? How will they pay out? You really need to do your homework and ensure that you know what you are getting and what you are paying for. Okay. A lot of times when you look at something and you see $9.99, understand, that you're not really getting the best policy that you can possibly get. Okay. And again, keep in mind, if you get a term policy, the chances of you outliving that policy are very good. So you always want to have that, which is great, but you also want to have the next thing I'm going to talk about, which is a permanent. Okay. You want to have a permanent life insurance policy that is going to go into the day that you are no longer on this earth. Okay. You want to absolutely make that. The other thing that I want to say is you get what you pay for. Okay. You get what you pay for. If you're just trying to get something to check the block and pay $9.99, $19.99, or even $30 a month, chances are your insurance is going to be exactly that. Okay. So please do your homework. Talk to a licensed insurance agent, a licensed financial professional, and see one, what coverages that would be best for you and that you can get, and understand that, it's not going to be as what you see on these ads with $9.99 a month. Okay. You want to have, no one wants to leave their family undercovered or underfunded. Okay. Nobody wants to do that. So, you may have a term policy and a perm policy. That would be the best thing to do. Okay. So where you have both, but please take time to really think and take time to assess where you're at, where your family is at. And if something happens to you, where will your family be? And if you live to see the nice age of 74, 78, 80, 85 years old or higher, are you going to be covered? Is your family going to be taken care of? These are things that we need to talk about. And again, they're not cute conversations, but they're conversations that absolutely need to have happen. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out and contact me, or you can contact my wife, Dr. Rita Gibson. And we would love to go over it free of charge to talk about the differences and what would really be best for you. Because understand, we do not come and try to work with a cookie cutting type like strategy. We put everything focused based on what you want and what your needs are. We're here to help you. We're here to help educate you to ensure that you and your family are properly and fully protected. So have a great rest of your weekend, and God bless.